Her family doesn't approve of our marriage. Is that good evidence? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States. I have our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel or don't know about our Immigration Answer Show, I do a show 3 or 4 times a week where I answer immigration questions from immigrants from around the world for free. I do that for a whole hour, and we do it on YouTube. You can subscribe to the channel, or you can text the word show to 314-470-3300 to get on our text list. And I bring all that up because I had a very strange question on one of my recent programs, and that was, hey, Jim, her family doesn't really approve of our marriage, and we have proof that her family doesn't approve of our marriage. Is that good evidence that there is, in fact, a marriage? And I thought about that for a second, and I thought, what a crazy question. What a crazy question. And I think it's actually a brilliant question. So here's my thought process. So whenever you have to prove a marriage, there's lots of different ways to do it. You can prove it through commingling your assets. You can prove it through affidavits from friends and family who know you. You can prove it through purchases that you made, or leases, or houses that you bought. These are all the ways that you can prove it. And like I said, one of those reasons is the affidavits that you can get from friends or family. But if you have proof that the U.S. citizen's family knows about the marriage and doesn't approve of it, I think that would definitely show that there is, in fact, a marriage. So you have to be a little bit careful, because sometimes you go to USCIS and the family doesn't know about the marriage at all. That's a big problem. I had a case once in Indianapolis where they were keeping the marriage on the down low, which I think is really, really problematic. And the reason for that is not so much that they don't know about it, but if you don't have a good explanation as to why they don't know about it, and they go out and talk to your family members or neighbors and they say, oh no, they're not married, that's a big, big problem. So if your family doesn't know about your relationship and you get a green card interview, you're most likely going to want to make sure that the officer understands that and tell them why you don't tell the family about the relationship. I can't think of a lot of good reasons, but sometimes there's religious reasons or family reasons or ancient family traditions that come into play, and that's one reason why you might not tell people. But for the most part, USCIS expects spouses to hold themselves out as married, to say to the world on Facebook, on social media, in any other documentation, workplace forms and things like that, you're holding yourself out as your spouses. So if your family doesn't approve of it, that is proof that there is a marriage. They wouldn't be mad if there wasn't an actual marriage. Now, that only gets you so far. If the family is actively trying to thwart your efforts to get a green card based on this marriage that they don't approve of, that's a different thing. If they know about it and they're just not too happy about it, that's one thing. If you can get evidence of that, that's probably pretty good. But if you get evidence, or if they are actively trying to kick you out of the country and to prove that you only married this U.S. citizen or green card holder so that you yourself could get a green card, that's a much bigger problem. So generally, it's much better to have the family know about the marriage, approve of the marriage, to write in support of the marriage. But if the family knows about it and just doesn't like it too much, I can live with that. I can work with that. I can develop evidence around that, and I can help explain it to USCIS. But the ones we don't want at all are the ones where there's no evidence of marriage. Nobody knows that you're married, and it's sort of a secret marriage. Secret marriages have a really hard time at USCIS. I hope this all makes sense. If you're thinking about getting married and applying for a marriage-based green card, we'd love to work with you. If you are thinking about hiring us, give us a call, 314-961-8200, or email us, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. So those ways of contacting us, email, phone number, those are for people who are serious about working with us as their attorney. If you don't want to hire us, or you don't think you can afford us, no problem. We have lots of free resources. We have our Immigrant Home Facebook group, which is a free Facebook group with thousands of members where people are talking about the immigration process. You can find us on Facebook. We have our YouTube channel, which is a place where I post new videos like this one 3 or 4 times a week. We also have our Immigration Answer Show, which is a show that I do 3 or 4 times a week, differently than the other videos. And that's just me answering immigration questions for a full hour. And then, of course, if you're not following us on TikTok, you're really missing out. We just went over 100,000 followers on TikTok, and we'd love to have you follow us there at Immigration Hacking. Thanks so much for watching. Please share it with your friends, and we'll see you next time.